babe.
That storm yesterday
Yeah.
was a tornado.
You kidding? Where?
It uprooted trees and yellow soil, tipped over trucks, and then up to like...
Oh no. You know, I'm actually recording, but
Oh, right.
so now they can hear. You heard, guys, we had tornado last night. Did you bring a Pokeball?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ready to get now meow. Yes, Alex. So when are you going to hear the results, Alex? Oh look, they gave me two. We had a crazy storm the other night, which actually ended up being a tornado. And it's not the first time that we get tornadoes here. They are not very common, but we had a few. And the one that I have actually experienced, it was ages ago. The kids were not born yet, but my sister's kids were. My sister's daughter was. And I was still living with my parents, I remember. And about 10 o'clock in the morning, the tornadoes, I think it was two, they came from the sea, and that is usually where they come from. They came from the sea and they went right over our building. At that time I was living in a building, and my workshop as well. And my dad's car was trashed and the trees were down. There was like a storage place across the road with big containers, shipping containers, and they were lifted up in the air and they were thrown down. The electricity was cut. I remember that clearly. And my mom, because Ivana, my sister's daughter, she was around 3 and she wanted some milk, but we didn't have any electricity. So she said, oh, how am I going to heat up the milk for her? And I said, look, don't worry about it. I have this little gas heater in my workshop, which is just the road away. That's the time when I was making candles. I said, I'll go get it. So I was walking to get the milk. And as I was walking, because just like taking a shortcut rather than going across around the street, I was taking a shortcut and I was fiddling with my keys to find the right key, and I didn't look at the workshop and I was just kind of looking at my keys and I found the right one, and I looked at the workshop and I stood there and because it was a corner workshop and it was all glass, there was no glass left and no furniture. All the glass was broken while I was holding the keys in my hand to unlock the door, and all the furniture was just pushed in one corner of the workshop. So I just walked in without a key, obviously. I went upstairs, I got the little gas heater and brought it to my mom so she can make milk for Iliana. So yeah, we do occasionally get them, not often as I said, but we do occasionally get them. We do get earthquakes though. This is a seismic area of the world, and we do have earthquakes, and sometimes quite strong as well. And we do have these strong tropical storms in the winter, although I love those. And this tornado, I didn't know about it until, because it didn't come over our house. The path was about 10 kilometers away. And Mario told me the next day, I think it was actually on camera, I'm not sure that when he told me that. But yes, so that's the weather update. But, I didn't bring the thing that I wanted to show you, what I'm gonna work on. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So for you, it was literally 1 second. I wanted to show you what I'm gonna work on today, and I don't know, for the next couple of days. I have quite a few ever since my mom gave me the project bags, I filled them up with different projects. And I was very inspired. I want to make this, I want to make that, and none of them are really following patterns. I don't seem to do that. But I wanted to work on different things. So this is the one, the oldest one. No, the blanket, the garter blanket is the oldest one from 2 years ago that I have. But that is very cumbersome, and it's like I work only like a few rows when I pick it up because it's really, really wide. But from like the smaller things, this is the oldest one that I have, and I think it's from maybe October last year, November last year, something like that. It's the yarn I got on sale from Lovecrafts. I think the company was called the Fiber Collective, and if that's not the case, I'm going to put it on the screen, the proper name, but I think it was Fiber Collective. And this was Fleur Will 4-ply sport weight base that I got in 4 different colors. And I got purple, which was never really my color, but lately I've been drawn to purple for some reason. And I've been making mine in Out Raglan, but I kind of abandoned it because I was doing different things. But I like it, I really like it, so I decided I'm going to take it up now and actually finish it. So the jumper is pretty much done. I'm working on the first sleeve, and I'm using this row counter. I think it's from Prim, and it's an ugly little thing, but it's so useful to me. I use it all the time, daily. I use it when I count the raglan increases, because the in and out raglan, if you don't know, it's a recipe that I made. It's my favorite type of a jumper. It's this one actually that I'm wearing, and I seem to gravitate to it, and I was knitting for those ones for myself and for my family. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna write it down, and I wrote it down. It's not for sale, it's free, and I put it on my blog. But it's that you can make, basically it's a recipe that you can make this kind of a jumper in pretty much any weight of yarn, and to kind of fit your measurements and the look that you want, also the necklines. So you can find it, I'll link it below, you can find it on my vlog. As I said, it's free. But the raglan increase is the way that I do them, and why I need this row counter. It's a 4-row repeat. So on the first one we increase the body and the sleeves. The second one just knit. The third one I increase only the body and the back, but not the sleeves. And the fourth one we just knit. So in order to kind of know exactly where I am, I go on this row counter 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So I always know on which round I am, and I don't have to look at for the increased stitches. And I would like to find a little prettier one, but as far as the notions are concerned, I use this all the time. I have 2 of those, and it's something that, unless I'm knitting flat, if I'm knitting in the round, this is usually on my project. And now why I'm using it on the sleeves is because I found that I hate measuring. Once I do the first sleeve, I hate measuring the second one if it fits, if it's the same size as the first one. So what I do, I put the row counter, and then once I finish the sleeves, I know exactly how many rows I did and how many rows before the ribbing. Then I do the ribbing for how many rows, write that down, and then when I start the second sleeve, then I just repeat the same number of rows, and the sleeves always come out the same, and I don't have to fold the jumper or mark them with stitch markers and check if they are the same. So this week, in fact from today or the next couple of days, I'm going to pick up this jumper and I'm going to finally finish it. So I don't think they have this yarn anymore. If they do, I will link it, but I don't think they have it. I could link possibly something that is very similar from their company, but I think this one doesn't exist anymore. It's a lovely yarn, squishy. It's sporty. I don't know how to explain it. It feels sporty. It feels like I would be wearing a sweatshirt when I wear it. It doesn't feel sleek and elegant. It's kind of bouncy. It goes back into its shape when I tried it on, but I do like it. So yeah, here it is, and I'm going to right now, in about half an hour, we're going to my mother-in-law's, which we usually do on Sundays for lunch. I'm going to take this. This is one of the rare places where I take my knitting when I go out. I usually take my knitting to my parents' house, my sister's house, my mother-in-law, and when I go and pick up Alex from school while I'm waiting in the car. So I'm gonna take this to my mother-in-law so I can work on that sleeve and probably tonight start on the second one. I'm also gonna try to put high heel shoes, boots, now when we go, and I know that it's not a special occasion. She's probably going to look at me and say, why did you dress up? But I really want to start introducing wearing high heels, because I love my shoes, and I have such a beautiful collection of shoes. And when I was younger, I could just be all day on high heels and dance in them all night. But how I got used to more comfortable shoes and wearing Crocs and Dr. Martens and Caterpillars and all that, now my feet hurt when I wear them after a long time of not wearing them. And boots, because the ankle is supported, I thought it's a perfect way to start getting used to wearing high heels. So a little thing, I don't know if you're interested, but it's definitely part of my life and part of what I'm thinking. How to get back into wearing stilettos. Okay, so I'm gonna get dressed, go to my mother-in-law's, and I'll see you later today or tomorrow.
Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I know you haven't noticed. You'll know that I won't let you go. Put your arms around me and I'll let you know how it feels when time goes slow. And I
Good morning. I finished the jumper that I was working on, and in fact I finished it last week, but it took me a while to block it, because what I do, I don't usually block them by hand washing. I have this setting on the washing machine that is wool setting, but I kind of wait to have a few of the woolens so I can put them together. So I was collecting those over the winters, and then I put all of them in the washing machine, and I blocked it and it dried, and it's lovely. The material changed somewhat. What I said, that it's kind of sporty and it bounces back and it doesn't have drape. It is kind of sporty still, but it did get drape after blocking. And I believe it's superwash, and I think that this is the first time that I'm knitting with superwash as far as the garments are concerned. But it did get a bit on the drape. And this was, I had 300 grams, and this is what stayed. So basically I could have gone wider and with longer sleeves, but I really didn't mind, because I do like bracelet sleeves, because out of jewelry I don't really wear necklaces, but I do like bracelets. So I don't mind. I actually prefer this length of the sleeve, except maybe for some really warm jumpers. And I also told you that this was the Fiber Collective, but I wasn't sure, and I think I corrected it in editing. It's not, it's the Yarn Collective. I bought it, it was Fleurville collection, I think 350 meters per 100 grams, and they don't have that anymore, but they do have their DK version, and I will link that in the description. But let me show you what other colors that I have in this yarn, which I'm probably going to make the same jumpers in this. But in order to use up the color, all of the yarn, I might make it a bit wider, I'm not sure. Or keep scraps, sorry, or keep scraps of these, and then make maybe something else using stripes. So this was the purple one. I think the color was called Delphinium, but I don't have the labels anymore, so I'm not sure. So the other three that I do have is this. I didn't bring my glasses, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to read what color is it. I don't even know if it says. But it's this kind of dirty pink. Very kind of vintage pink, almost mauve. I have 300 grams of that. I have 300 grams of this baby pink, but it also has a little bit of purple in it. It's pink, but it has like undertones of purple, and it's definitely baby shade. I don't know if you're gonna pick it up, but again, it has some kind of muted quality to it, which I like. And I also have this dark green, which is beautiful. I mean, they all are, but this one is just... So yeah, so I have another 3 sweater quantities for this kind of jumper in this yarn. I don't think I'm going to knit on it just yet. I have them in the box, kind of separate. So when the time comes, I'm going to knit with these. But I'm overall happy with the result. We'll see what I'm going to do with the leftover. Whether I keep it to kind of do some mending if it's necessary. But to tell you the truth, I haven't until now been in a position that I really have to do mending on a jumper. Maybe because I do have a variety and we do have only like a certain number of months here that we wear jumpers. So I don't really overwear them. But we'll see. I didn't decide on this yet. The other thing that I did finish, and I didn't even show you while I was working on it, but you might have seen it while I was getting ready to go to my mother-in-law's, which is a bit earlier in this vlog. I have knitted for the first time a triangle shawl. And I've never knitted a triangle shawl before. I prefer scarves. I like the way that they sit. I know this is like sacrilege because most of the people prefer triangle shawls. But to me, they remind me a bit of bibs. And I don't know, that's why I don't gravitate towards them. But I thought, okay, let me just make a very simple one. I tend to like square or rectangle shapes. But I thought, let me make a simple one. And I used my handspun yarn, which is a blend of, is it focusing? Which is a blend of, there is silk in it, alpaca, camel, merino. I'm not sure what else is inside. And I had the single ply of that and I held it with a cobweb merino in grey. And this is how it came out. Now the way that I did it, I started, my son calls it Dorito, my younger son, because I started with 3 stitches here. I started with 3 stitches here. And then what I did is this side, I left it straight. And every time I would come to this side, not on both ends. So I would finish the row. And then when I would start the row, I would slip 1 stitch and then I would knit back and forth. So I would increase one stitch on every right or wrong row, but only on one side. So one side is straight and one side is increasing until I got about 180 centimeters, which I think it's about 6 feet on the diagonal. And this is how it came out. So basically, I'll try to get up. So I started with this small part there, and then I was increasing on one side until that diagonal was 180 centimeters. And I got this width, which is my wingspan, and I am 163, 164, which I think is like 6 feet 4, something like that. When I was trying it on for my mother-in-law's house, I saw that there was one end that wasn't woven in because I just literally finished it, but I did weave them in until then. I want to show you up close how the fabric looks. There are all these beautiful variations in the yarn. I use 3mm needles. It's very soft. So I don't know how I'm going to wear it. I have to see how other people wear it. I have to see, because I know that most of the people, they kind of have it like this in the front and then they drape it. But this part, I told you, kind of reminds me of a bib somehow. So if I kind of put it on the side, probably doesn't go really with this jumper. I'm looking in the little small viewfinder, I mean the screen on the camera. But I'll find a way, or I could just use it as a scarf. Let me see. Well, I don't know. It's done. And I do want to knit. The half and half triangles wrap, and I do want to knit this Soho Square by Jackie Rose. And they're all kind of used because they're squares, and then you would fold them into a triangle. So, and they look so nice on other people when I see. So that kind of inspiration when I see other people wearing them, I really like. Now looking at this doesn't look bad. I like this. It's just maybe I don't like it when that part is over here in the front. But I'm glad that I have one. And yeah, another thing I don't like is how it folds. It folds into a triangle. And that's that thing in me. It's like I like when I fold stuff to either be a square or a rectangle, to have kind of clean lines. But this one folds and I don't have a place where I can hang them, but this folds in a triangle, which really bothered me, but it shouldn't bother me, but it did. So yeah, I'm glad that I had my first triangle shawl, and it was very addictive. It was such a pleasure to work this garter stitch and these simple knits. It's definitely my favorite. It's comforting, and I really do like the way that they look. I understand that a lot of people get bored from very simple stitches, but I love them. That is my go-to, I mean my relaxing project. And another thing I wanted to show you before I go is I was showing you this row counter that I'm using on which row counter that kind of goes on the needle, so like a stitch marker from Prim that turns, that I use all the time. And I told you that it's an ugly little thing. Yeah, I do think that it's not very pretty, but it's very useful. I do, however, have another one which doesn't hang on the needles. It's this one. I got it a while ago from Etsy, and I love it. It's really good quality. And it just clicks for you to change the rows. So I love this one, but the only thing about it is that it's not on the actual, I mean, if I hung it on the needles, it would be too heavy. So that's why I use it only in for different purposes, not necessarily where I have to change every row. Maybe I would use it for cables, like every 6th row, but I don't use this one, even though it's much prettier and better quality. It's not plastic. I use the other ones on my needles. So yeah, that's about that for now. I'm gonna close this vlog. I wanted to show you this jumper, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.